Welcome back to Supernatural Japan, the podcast where ancient legends, eerie whispers, and shadowy folklore walk among us. I'm your host, Kevin O'Shea, and tonight, we're looking up. Way up. Because tonight's story isn't about a ghost in the mirror or a cursed forest path. It's about a giant. A giant made of bones. Bones that used to belong to the dead. Meet Gashadokuro, the rattling skeleton yokai with a taste for human flesh. Imagine this. It's just past midnight. You're walking home along a quiet country road. The wind has died. The cicadas have gone silent. The only sound is a faint rattling. You stop, listen, then a horrible crunch. You never make it home. This is the legend of Gashadokuro, or giant skeleton. Standing over 15 meters tall, invisible in the darkness, it is said to stalk the countryside in the dead of night, searching for lone travelers. And when it finds them, it grabs them, lifts them high in the air, and bites off their head. Then it drinks their blood. Unlike many yokai, the Gashadokuro isn't mischievous or misunderstood. It's pure vengeance, pure death. Where did something so horrifying come from? Well, to answer that, we have to go back to the 10th century, to a war-torn era of rebellion and famine. One of the most famous legends connects the Gashadokuro to a powerful onmyoji, a sorcerer named Taira no Masakado, and more importantly, his daughter, Takeyashi Hime. When Masakado's rebellion was crushed by the imperial court, his daughter, furious and grieving, turned to magic. Using forbidden necromancy, it is said she summoned the bones of those who died in the battle, forming them into a single enormous creature, the first Gashadokuro, a weapon of revenge, a monster of war. In other versions of the story, Gashadokuro arises not from magic, but from mass death. Famine, disease, war, wherever large numbers of people die without proper burials, their souls become angry, their bones restless. Eventually, their resentment merges and becomes the Gashadokuro. In this way, it's not just a monster, it's a reminder of what happens when the dead are forgotten. Now let's say you find yourself out late, maybe after visiting a shrine or a late shift at work, and you hear a distant clatter. How do you know if it's a Gashadokuro? Well, for one thing, you may not hear anything at all. One of the creepiest details about this yokai is that it's invisible in the darkness. You won't see it until it's too late. But there's a trick. Some say you'll hear a ringing in your ears just before it attacks, a high-pitched whine. If you do, run. Get to light, get indoors, say a prayer, because if it catches you, there's no negotiating. The Gashadokuro does not speak. It only devours. Is the Gashadokuro just an ancient war story? Or is it still walking among us? There are whispers, reports of giant footprints in muddy rice fields, a strange pressure in the air near abandoned battlefields, and of course, the urban legends. In post-war Japan, after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, some said Gashadokuro returned, born again from the countless unburied dead, a silent titan of sorrow, stalking the ruins at night. Today, the Gashadokuro lives on in manga, anime, and video games, from Gigi Gigi no Kitaro to Yokai Watch to Nioh and One Piece. But in these stories, it's often treated more like a cool monster than a deeply tragic spirit it was born from. Remember, this yokai isn't just a monster. It's a symbol of unacknowledged grief, of those lost in silence. It represents what happens when the dead cry out and no one listens. The next time you're walking alone at night in Japan, and the street grows too quiet, and the wind stops, and your ears start to ring, you might not be alone. You might be underneath something very, very big. Thanks for listening to Supernatural Japan. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us on your favorite podcast platform and leave a review. It helps other yokai lovers find us. You can also find photos and a lot more over on our social media. You can even check out justjapanstuff.com for some companion blogs to the podcast. Now, if you'd like to support the show, you can always buy me a coffee. There's now a link in the show notes, and by donating even a small amount, you can help support the continued production of Supernatural Japan. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Jerem for supporting the podcast by buying me a coffee. Thank you so much, Jerem. The generosity will go a long way towards some great new equipment. And I want to thank you, Jerem, for your years and years of support on all of the different projects I've done. Now, I also want to mention a cool comment, something I thought was pretty cool and funny. That followed the last episode 40 of the podcast, the Inokashira Park dismemberment case. A very creepy story set in Tokyo. And this one comes from Blue Sky. Catch left a message and he said, "Why you do this? I walked home through there last night." So Catch sometimes walks home through Inokashira Park. Sorry for letting you know all about this horrific incident and the potential hauntings in that park, if that's a park you walk through. Hey, it'll make the walks a lot more interesting from now on. So Catch, if you ever do see something odd or strange in Inokashira Park, please let us know here at the podcast. So everyone, follow us on social media. If you want to see photos and pictures, or pictures, I should say, of Gashadokuro, come on over to Instagram at Supernatural Japan. Lots of cool content over on the Instagram. It's growing. It's growing. And of course, you can follow me, Kevin O'Shea, over on Blue Sky and X at Mad for Maple. You can always email the podcast with your strange experiences in Japan, your strange experiences anywhere in the world, and show ideas. Send me an email at supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. Also, check out our Facebook page. All of the links will be below in the show notes of the podcast. Now, until next time, stay out of the dark, and remember, the spirits never sleep.